What's up, you tea freaks? We're getting our intros ready. Welcome to another episode of TeaDB, bringing you some ripe on our sound studio where it is raining in the set next door.
Yep, here in East West Hollywood, next door to the Seattle studio where it's rainy and crappy outside.
Yeah, these LA wildfires, man.
Yeah, can't barely breathe in here in this filtered Pacific Northwest-esque environment.
Yeah.
However, our true location is unknown and undisclosed because of our private hire.
I think they're filming Twilight 7 next door because there's a lot of rain. I think I saw a vampire.
Yeah, I saw those werewolves. Anyway, we're a tea YouTube channel, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll do that now.
A highly popular one.
Plenty of really famous people like tea stuff. I wonder who the most famous person is who's watched TeaDB.
Probably someone that we have no idea they watched.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
But there's got to be someone famous. So if you're Kevin Rose,
speaking, we have a lot of
Tynan. I'm trying to think of other people I know who are tea nerds who I'd be delighted to know that they watched this stupidity.
Smell that.
Yeah, thank you.
We are having some ripe today because the Twilight 7 filming next door has put us in the mood for some more fermenty stuff. Tis the season. Getting some real autumnal weather over here.
Man.
So,
incense.
This is a
plum incense.
There you go. This is a Xizi Hao, right? So it's a Taiwanese boutique. My friend Peter, who I saw in the flesh in February, which feels like 5 years ago, bought a big brick of this and gave me some of it. I think it's a kilogram brick, so it's a big one.
Wow.
And Xizi Hao boutique Taiwanese label. So we would expect this to be a little different than your standard ripes.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Smells great. Incredibly sweet. Plum-y. Smells like a ripe. But,
yeah. Have you been drinking much ripe over the summer?
Not as much. No. More black teas and white teas this summer than ripes. We're beginning the season now where these. Yeah.
So of all the teas you have, it sounds like ripe might be the most seasonal brew for you.
Yes.
Or at least one of the most.
Yes, definitely one of the most, if not the most, I'd say. Because I'll kind of dive into any of the other categories when I'm feeling like it, but ripe tends to be a go-to for a specific time of year, which is this time of year. Fall, autumn, and winter.
So basically you only feel like it during this time of year.
When the days are getting darker, faster, and yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like. But I am looking forward to drinking this one in particular. And in terms of specs, bro, how many CPUs are in this bad boy? How many grams did you use?
5 Gs.
Whoa.
Rev it up.
No, dude. That's
rev up that kettle to a boil. Pretty basic. I mean, I feel like ripes are one of the most forgiving,
right,
as far as how you brew it goes. Just because it really doesn't get very bitter. You could probably make a pretty nasty brew of ripe if it's a little danky, but I don't really think this will be. Cheers.
Cheers.
Feels like this tea is going to be more on the refined, delicate end of things.
Mm-hmm. Classic flavors, though. Vanilla, bark, molasses.
Very creamy.
Very clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the clarity on the liquor is quite clean. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. We'd expect this to get a little stronger. I'm going to brew it to be a little stronger as well. Boiling water, pretty much a must for ripe.
I think so.
Don't go under.
Yeah, I don't really see why you would. Yeah, I can't see why you would. This is surprisingly clean. Well stored.
Yeah.
And you rinsed it, right?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. One rinse.
But still, I mean, it doesn't need more than one rinse, and quite nice already. And it looks like the cake is fairly hard pressed. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for a big ass brick like that, probably not the most hard pressed, but I mean, any brick that's a kilogram tends to be on the hard pressed end. So, pretty hard pressed. So, yeah, I mean, to Denny's point earlier, it's like you can sort of see that there's still some big chunks that are still coming apart there.
So we're still going to have, just brewing wise, it's going to just get darker and darker. So it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's let James enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd say from the get-go, this tea is pretty clearly above average as far as the ripe goes.
Yeah. A lot of full body, no gnarly off flavor whatsoever.
A lot of complexity too.
Yeah, just but just how do you say it? Like the classic flavors in this tea are so punctuated. They're very noticeable in a way that I think even a new tea drinker would enjoy, because you can really taste vanilla. You can really taste cherry. It's not just some muddled, confused mess of combined flavors.
Right.
With very distinct kind of punctate tastes.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, in contrast, I feel like the first tea we had today, the Shui Xian from Wu Origin, might be a little bit more in that complex but hard to really say what flavor is what there.
Right. And that's kind of a characteristic of ripes a little bit. There's not as much variety in the profile compared to other teas that we have on the show.
So question, how long would you expect a tea like this to brew out for?
I don't know. It'll be interesting to taste this one, which is going to be a little bit stronger, because those have been so well balanced and not too intense that I wonder if a tea like this would actually die off a little bit quicker. I think part of it too is the reason why those were a little bit lighter is because of the compression. And so, like, when you're pouring that water in there and I see the water hit like those harder brick parts, which is like a black color comes out of that little section. So I think that this tea, because of its compression, will actually manage the steepings one by one really well. Not being too strong in the beginning and too weak at the end, but sustaining a little bit more. Right. So that's a benefit of this tea. Really tasty. We'll try this next steeping.
Yeah, and I steeped 4. I didn't even get it quite as dark as I wanted. Steep 3, so going hard. Cheers.
So good. And this just proves the point. You just like a tea like this, especially, you just like can't overbrew.
Yeah, it's so refined and so elegant for a ripe too. No idea where the source material is from, but clearly this is like. This is not just some random leaves tossed together and fermented.
There's no sourness. You know, I mean, there's no way you could tell it's fermented unless you knew the flavor profile to be drinking. There's no... It just tastes like this is what the leaves would be like off the plant. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, too, just stepping back from this tea in particular, just to talk about ripe for a second. It's incredible that you can create strains of bacteria and stuff to go into a tea and change it so much, so predictably. And these teas in general just, so interesting. Tea is so cool. And who would have ever thought? Certainly the OGs in Britain had no idea that it's all one plant. So.
Yeah.
I love also the viscosity on these teas. This one is no exception. The ripes for me just have like the perfect level of mouthfeel, texture stuff.
I feel like this one in particular, I described it as sort of elegant. I feel like the mouthfeel is another way that really comes across too. It's sort of that silky mouthfeel that you'll sometimes get from white and black teas, and I feel like it does come across a bit in this ripe.
I got a little more vegetal tomato vine kind of dirt off of the nose on the lid, strangely enough. I'm not tasting it quite as much, maybe just like small hints of that profile. We tend to see those those ripes come around more to that kind of classic, very aged raw taste when we do have these teas that end up being very old.
Yeah.
As you guys have seen in the show.
So that vegetable taste that you're noting, would you say that's more a product of the storage of this ripe or just of the initial processing?
I don't know. Not necessarily storage. I'd say probably just the initial source material itself has a little bit of those notes into it. Mm-hmm. And then, do we know the age on this?
It's 2012. So
okay, so it's young enough.
Years, yeah.
That I wouldn't expect those flavors to develop now. It doesn't taste like it's particularly aged. Yeah, I think we're just kind of beginning the flavor profile of that aging process a little bit.
From how it's performed, I'd say this is probably going to go a good 10-12 steeps.
Yeah. God damn, that's a good thing. And the viscosity really leaves you experiencing the tea after you finished drinking it.
Right.
There's just so much texture there and residual flavor. Really nice.
Yeah.
Really balanced.
How about for a novice drinker? Do you think this tea is appropriate for?
I don't know, because this one has less of the classic, really easy to approach vanilla cherry vibe that you would get from a ripe that I think might be interesting and novel and enjoyable as a new a novice tea drinker. This one has more complexity and just less of the obvious kind of hitting you in the face sweetness. So for me, I really enjoy it. I think it has a residual sweetness. It's really approachable and enjoyable. I don't think it's off in any way. I just think that the flavor profile might be slightly obscure for someone who's just getting started in tea.
Okay.
Definitely, I would try. Although I don't know if this would be the perfect intro to ripe pu'erh.
Okay. So you would say something more like that Shaguan tool that you like would be maybe a little better.
Just easier to get a sense of the...
I will say one point for this tea is, one of the common things you'll hear about ripe or pu'erh in general is people too often get their intro from buying the cheapest thing in Chinatown. And, sometimes you truly really won't like ripe, but it's often the case that maybe something crappy at Chinatown is just simply an inferior example. And if you try something better, you might be able to understand the category a bit better and then understand that you didn't like it because it's crappy versus you don't like ripe pu'erh in general.
Right, exactly. You don't want to drink something that's sour, gross, hasn't been stored well, wasn't made well, and...
You don't want to drink brewing someone's feet or something like that. Or if you do, they have to be well curated feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only the finest.
Only the finest feet that are from 80-year-old legs.
Yeah. Yeah, once I had 90-year-old and I was like, oh, whoa, whoa.
I'm going to unsubscribe from this thread. Yeah, I mean, a ripe pu'erh like this isn't as approachable because there's more nuanced flavors and less highlighting of the kind of easier notes to drink, I think. Mm-hmm. There's a wonderful residual earthy kind of bitterness to this tea that, it rings quality to me, it tastes fantastic, but I don't think necessarily that this would be, if you're just trying to get into tea for the first time in your whole life, probably not a great first tea to try. Definitely a good tea, though, if you want to experience what the ripe pu'erh category tastes like. Although, again, I just would note that many other ripe teas have more vanilla and more cherry flavors in it than this. This has more earthiness and molasses and some of the interesting flavors that I think you and I enjoy more.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I mean, this is a good tea. Once you get sort of a baseline on ripe, I think you can really appreciate the quality of this tea, especially.
Totally. Yeah. And the fact that it's, in comparison to other ripes that can be kind of muddy and gross, it's extremely clean.
Right.
So, yeah. Great tea. Can people pick this up?
I think you can hunt it down, on Facebook auctions or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if this tea has popped up now and then at availability. Frankly, I haven't checked all that much. But look for it, the Xizi Hao Dragon. I want to say Dragon Pole, but the label I have just says Dragon. So it's a big 1 kilogram brick. Check it out. Yeah.
Super good. Would recommend. Probably not going to be a mom test tea.
If you want to serve your mom ripe, I'd say this is a mom test tea. If you're just trying to pick from more of a neutral palate, probably not.
Right.
Just in the sense that ripe is not.
I think this would be awesome on the ultralight backpacking test tea. Just plop it in there and let it get stronger and add more water if you need to. But
yeah,
tasty.
I think this tea could be brewed even harder than I did.
Yeah,
frankly.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
It's been real.
Ripe Dreams coming at you. Hashtag, that's my rap name. Ripe Dreams. That's my new tea rap name for sure.
Yeah, and I'm Raw Dreams, keeping it real.
Oh, damn.
Baby, we like it raw.
All right, that's it.
Brooklyn Zoo coming at ya.
Yeah, ODB in the heaven house.
Yeah, that's true. He is dead.
Love you guys. Subscribe, maybe. I don't know. Send this to your mom. Have we done like a mom request?
Yeah.
Text this to someone you love and your mother.
The mom is not someone they love. Yeah.
Love you. Good seeing you guys. I miss this.
Yeah.
See you guys next time on episode 365.
Yeah. Cheers.